Assalamu alaikum. Lesson number 17, miscellaneous words. Inshallah, in this lesson we'll be going over some words where they don't fit into a particular category, but they are used in the Quran a lot. So of course we need to cover them, inshallah, in this lesson. Now remember, you need a pen, pencil, notebook, and your copy of the Quran, ideally with the translation, so you can track the verses that we look at, inshallah, in these lessons. So, starting off with the first one, if you see the first word is actually dhu, and this is the Arabic comma, by the way, that we have in the middle. I'm just going to circle it so you can see it properly. These are Arabic commas, okay? So we have the word dhu, tha, and the, and we also have the dhata. So this is the masculine. So dhu, tha, the are all the masculine form of the feminine form of dhata. Yeah, so the dhata is actually the feminine form of the dhu. And this means owner of. So the meaning of this is owner of. Now, and then there would always be a word that would be attached to any of these words. Okay? So with dhu, tha, and the, or dhata, they don't appear in the Quran by themselves. They will always be attached to something. So the best example for the masculine form of dhu we will find in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 105. Verse number 105. So Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 105. Wallahu dhul fadl al-azim. That Allah, and Allah is the possessor of, so owner of, possessor of, dhul fadl al-azim, the great bounty. Yeah, he's a possessor of great bounty. So we're not going to give examples of the. You'll need to go onto the advanced course, meaning click the link in the description and go into the course, because it's the grammar which affects, does it change dhu, the, or the? It's the grammar that affects that. Of course, we will cover that in detail for the people who are enrolled in the course. The dhata is the feminine form of that, and we have dhata in Surah Al-Lahab. So if you go to Surah number 113, so Surah number 111, verse number 3, it is, what is the verse? SubhanAllah, it's flown up my mind now. It's Sayasla Naran Dhat al-Lahab. So he will be plunged into the fire, or he will enter. So, Yasla is to burn in the fire. Naran Dhat al-Lahab. This is all to do with fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, but it's obviously talking about Abu Lahab. So Dhata, so Nar is a feminine word. Yes, Nar is a feminine word. So meaning the fire of hell is, in language, is classified as a feminine word. So that's why it's saying Dhata Lahab. Lahab means flaming or blazing. Yeah, flaming or blazing. So Naran Dhata Lahab, the fire which is the owner of blazing flames, basically. Yeah, which is the owner of blazing flames. So it's giving an extra description to the fire that Abu Lahab will be entered into. So that's that. Now ulu and uli is actually the plural of dhu, that, the. So it also means the possessors of. If I've misspelled that, you understand. And again, just like dha, dhu, the, there will always be a word that comes afterwards. Yes, there will always be a word that comes afterwards. So if we go to Surah Al Imran, verse number 7, at the end of the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا يَذَّكَّرُ إِلَّا أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ, that none of them are reminded or remember إِلَّا أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ, except of the possessors of understanding. The possessors of understanding. Ulul albab is being used here. And in other cases, because of the grammar, it would be uli. But again, you have to go into the course to understand exactly the differences between that. So we've got dhu, the, dhata, ulu, and uli. Essentially, they mean the same thing. I've put owner of and possessors of because it's actually the same thing. But you can use the in English, or for your understanding, you can use whatever you want to make it clearer for what the best usage of the ayat is. So, as usual, we'll go on to the next line, inshallah. So we have ahlu. So ahlu, or ahlun actually. Where's the other pen gone? The base word is ahlun. It can take any harakah. But the most usage of the word ahl in the Quran is of ahl al-kitab. Yeah. So if we go to Surah number 3, verse number 99, I believe it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, Surah number 3, verse number 99, which is Ali Imran, verse number 99. Says, Ya Ahl al-Kitab, Ya Ahl al-Kitab. So there is taking a fatha. It's taking a fatha. But it can take any haraka. Ya Ahl al-Kitabi, lima tasudduna an sabilillahi man amana tabaghunaha iwaja wa antum shuhada. Wallahu bighafilin amma ta'malun. So this is saying, oh, the people of the book. This is the most usage of Ahl in the Quran. So once you memorize Ya Ahl al-Kitab, oh, the people of the book. And we know this anyway, or you should know this anyway, or even if you don't, you know it now. The next one is ala. So ala is only can take a single haraka normally. So ala means family of. Family of. Yeah. And again, there'll be something that comes afterwards always. For example, if we look at Surah Ali Imran, the third surah, Surah Ali Imran, the surah of the family of Imran. Yeah, the surah of the family of Imran. The other usage which happens of this is ala Lut. Ala Lut. I won't give examples because we're looking on the name of Surah Al Ali Imran. Ala Lut, the family of Lut alayhi salam. Yeah. So this is the two main usage. Ala Lut, in fact, is the main usage of ala in the Quran. You don't find this too much. And remember, this is not alif lam which connects to a word. This is ala as a word by itself. So family of. So the next word we have is Allah, and Allah is one of those words which has multiple meanings. So it's like is it not? Do you not? Do not. Like not do not as a command, like do not do this, but is it not? So let's use the example from the Quran. So the example from the Quran is, because it makes it much clearer, this needs context with the other words. So if you go to Surah Ar-Ra'd, verse number 28, in there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الذين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله. That those who believe وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله, and they have their hearts are tranquil because of the remembrance of Allah, because of the remembrance of Allah, the dhikr of Allah. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. That is it not with the remembrance of Allah that the hearts find peace? Yes. So here we can say, is it not? So let's just put like do not, is not, but like a question form. Yeah, like a question form. That kind of form of Allah. When you read the context of that, or once you understand more of the Arabic, then it will make you understand. Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Is it not that in the remembrance of Allah? And if we break this down, it's actually a, which means like what, for example, question word, and la, which means no. So this is actually a combination of these two words, but they form together to form this meaning. So that's inshallah helps you make you understand that as well. So the next word is ni'mah, and ni'mah means what an excellent, or what the best. What an excellent is the best, yeah? So what an excellent. What an excellent. And you know what we find with all of these words that we've done so far, there's always something connected thereafter. So let's just say there's always something connected after, yeah? What an excellent. So ni'ma ajrul amilin. So what an excellent reward for the people who do deeds. Amilin meaning good deeds. Yeah. So what's the example that is being given? So we go to Surah number 3, verse number 173. Surah number 3, verse number 173. And in there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Hasbunallah. In there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. That Allah is sufficient for us, wa ni'mal wakil, and the best in whom we trust, and most excellent is He. So ni'ma wa ni'mal wakil. So ni'mal wakil. So the best person that you can have trust in. What an excellent being in which you can have trust in. Of course, we have our trust in Allah. So ni'mah is that. Bi'sa is the opposite of ni'mah. So what an evil. What an evil. What an evil. Verse number, so surah number 62, verse number 5, which is Surah Al-Jum'ah. بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله. This is talking about the Bani Israel who learn things and they don't act upon it. بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله. That how bad is the example, or what an evil example of مثل القوم, the example of a people, مثل القوم الذين who do not who بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله, who disbelieve in the ayat of Allah. So we'll use that method here as well. We'll use the same example and then we can come back to it. So بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله. What an evil example of those who disbelieve in the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's go to the next line, inshallah. I'll leave 62.5 there because we're going to use it with that. So the next word is bi'sa ma. So just like bi'sa, there's evil there, yeah? So evil is that which. We said ma means that which, yeah? Ma has the same meaning as alladhi, equals alladhi. So it is that which. And bi'sa is the how evil, yeah? Bi'sa is how evil. We'll actually have a whole section on words which are attached with ma. So we have bi'sa plus ma. This is actually an introduction for that now. Bi'sa plus ma equals how evil is, in commas because Arabic doesn't have is, that which. That which. So bi'sa ma is how evil is that which altogether. Yeah. And if you go to surah number 2, which is Surah Al-Baqarah, of course, and what's the example? Surah number verse number 90. So 2 verse number 90. Okay. بئس ما اشتروا به أنفسهم. So how evil is the thing that they purchased for their souls. So the next word is mithla, and mithla means something similar. Something similar. Similar. So what's the example that we're giving on this one? We go to Surah number 40, verse number 40. Surah number 40. What's Surah number 40? Surah Al-Ghafir. Surah number 40, verse number 40. Now Surah Al-Ghafir, depending on which copy of the Quran you're using, it could be Surah Al-Mu'min as well. So in there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what is the verse? مَنْ عَمِلَ سَيِّئَةً فَلَا يُجْزَى إِلَّا مِثْلَهَا. Whoever does evil deeds, فَلَا يُجْزَى إِلَّا مِثْلَهَا, then he was not recompensed إِلَّا مِثْلَهَا, except similar, something similar to that. Which means is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you do something evil, then this is specifically for believers, because disbelievers are all going to hell. So believers, for example, if they do something evil, then Allah will judge accordingly with a evil. But on the flip side, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judges something good, for example, man ja'a bil hasanati falahu ashru amthaliha, that whoever brings a good thing, a good deed on the day of judgment, falahu ashru amthaliha, then for one good deed he gets 10 rewards. 10. I'm holding the pen, yeah? 10 rewards. So that's the example. This is going on to the meaning of the ayah, but mithla means something similar, as we can see. So he gets something similar to the evil deed that he done. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy that happens. The next word is mathal. So mathalun and amthal, this is the plural. Amthal is the plural. This is a different type of plural which we learned. We learned Jama' Mudhakkar Salim, which is the other plural. This is a Jama' Taksir, which means it's a broken plural. It doesn't follow the Waw Noon example. So وَمَثَلُ, if you go to Surah number 2, verse number 265, Surah number 2, which is Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 265. The verse is وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ. Yeah, and the likeness, so this means similitude. Similitude or likeness, whichever one is easier for you. Yeah. So the similitude, وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُم, the similitude of the one who spends his wealth, في سبيل وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is mardatillah, is seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the last word is mimman, which means from those who, or from the one who. Yeah, so this all together. From the one or ones who. So actually this is a combination of two words joined together. It's min plus men. It's min plus men. Now we're going to do min plus men. In the next lesson, inshallah, we're going to do harf jar, which will make a lot more sense of this kind of word. We've already done men, which means who, but we haven't done min, which means from. Yeah, min has more meanings than that, but in this one, we'll say from. So from the ones who, when you join them together in the Quran, then this noon gets merged into the meme, and then it becomes mimman. Yeah, from the ones who. What's the example that we can give in the Quran? Surah number 41, verse number 33. Surah number 41, verse number 33. We didn't use that example, okay. Surah 41, verse number 33. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Then who is it that has, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا, who has better speech than مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ, then the one who, or then the ones who call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is actually singular. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Then who has better speech than the one who calls to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes? So mimman, than the one who calls to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the example of these words. And if you want to learn how they go deeper in the Quran, how they specifically apply to the Quran with examples, click on the course in the description. And inshallah, I'll see you on the other side.